Welcome back. To paraphrase the famous writer Mark Twain, the demise of the American economy appears to have greatly been exaggerated. Well, just last month, there were long faces and dire predictions. Now America's numbers are bouncing back. The U.S. economy added 233,000 jobs in April. It's the 13th time in 14 months that new jobs have topped 200,000. That brings the unemployment rate down to 5.4%, the lowest level in almost 7 years. Duncan Kisia is an economist with the Berger Group. This is a bigger picture here that we can see right now. The economy looks great, but we're coming close to elections in 2016. Do you think this good wave will hold?
I think the signals coming from the Fed imply that the good jobs report is an indication that the economy is coming back. But at the same time, the reaction should be tempered, because even though the jobs report shows robust recovery of jobs, the return, economic recoveries are not exactly elastic. So the jobs that are coming back might not be the same quality as the jobs that were lost in the first place.
And Duncan, that's the issue. A lot of people have been complaining about this in the sense that, well, yeah, we've got a lot of jobs here, but are these jobs that people are getting at McDonald's and the like, as opposed to meaningful jobs that will actually help the middle class, which is still suffering right now?
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at other statistics that are not included in that top line summary, wages haven't gone up at the same time. So you've had a jobs recovery that has not come with a wage recovery as such. So I think the Fed is encouraged by the numbers, and there's talk about interest rates being raised in the future, but the fact that they're not going to rush to that decision quite yet indicates that there's still some room for improvement in the economy.
I've talked about this when I've hosted a Rise Exchange on a number of occasions, and people are always focused and concerned. It's a nail biter over the interest rates. On one hand, they're low right now, but the banks are still not giving up those all-important mortgages to people who can at least afford them at this point. There seems to be a disconnect here.
Certainly, I'm not sure how much I could talk about the housing market, but I mean, the Fed has kept the interest rates low with the hope that would stimulate spending, stimulate demand, and through that stimulate jobs. And so now that the jobs seem to be coming back, the banks have been waiting to see whether the interest rate is going to rise. I think they're happy that it's not rising quite yet, because that means that there's still more money flowing in the economy.
I and the common guy and the little guy are also ecstatic about that. And I want you to talk about more of what this economy means to the average person in the United States in terms of them. Let me get this out here. Being able to live halfway decent lives.
So the unemployment rate has dropped to 5.4%, as you mentioned. So that would seem to imply that, people are finding jobs. But at the same time, that number doesn't really talk to, how many people are working two jobs. So the quality of the jobs, again, is an important component. And you've seen recently, as the pictures we saw from Baltimore recently, the economic recovery has been good in general, but the incidence of that and who has most benefited from that is still up to question. A lot of low-income households are still struggling, and the economic recovery has not really been as beneficial to them as it has been to the top-income earners.
I want to ask you one last question. It's something that Ronald Reagan said when he was running for president. Are we better off now than we were, say, 4 or 8 years ago?
I think certainly that's the case now. I don't think anyone would dispute that, maybe except for the Republicans, who have been united in their opposition to the president and would look to find any way to discredit any gains that have been achieved on his watch. So the doom and gloom that has been coming out from certain elements of the punditry, I think, are reflecting political rhetoric rather than...
We got to close it there, Duncan. I got to tell you, the Republicans said they'd get the unemployment rate down to 6-point-something% in 2016, and it's lower than that now.
Exactly.
We'll keep our eyes on it. Duncan, thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.